Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Empower716. I am your host, Rob Lowry. This is a show platform dedicated to entrepreneurs, business owners, side hustlers, career shifters, those who are committed to growing their life and business. So this is episode 21. This is a really long journey we have. So short, but really productive. If you hadn't had a chance to actually look at some of the guests that we had on the show over these last, I would say 6 months, man, I'm telling you, go back to and watch them. So much valuable information of people in Western New York, entrepreneurs, business owners, just doing their thing, sharing their story. And so this week, we are going to be highlighting another small business in Western New York. And the name of this business is Unapologetic Coffee. And so Empower716 over the last 8 weeks has been doing videos on site at different businesses within Western New York. And so we are highlighting these 8 different businesses. And so the founders, Alicia and Elisa Officer, who are co-owners of Unapologetic Coffee. I want you to check out this video right now and see all the great things that they're doing in the community. And guess what? They are located on the east side of Buffalo, right on East Utica and Main Street. So they're right there for us, by us. And so we're going to check out this video and pretty much they're going to share a little bit about their business and their purpose.
Officer. I am the CEO and co-founder of Unapologetic Coffee, and I am Elisa Officer, the COO and co-founder of Unapologetic Coffee. And together we decided to open up a coffee roastery and cafe that highlights marginalized societies as well as highlighting the producers of Black and Brown communities that have often been overlooked in the specialty coffee area. One of the main focuses for Unapologetic Coffee is to deliberately be in a diverse community in Buffalo's East Side area. We chose to be here. We didn't want to necessarily be in all the locations that have predominantly fueled coffee industry in the Buffalo region. So we always wanted to stay closer to that East Buffalo area. So as coffee roasters, our dominant product is coffee. Well, coffee. Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah. So we source all of our coffee from around the world. We source from 3 distinct areas at the moment: Ethiopia, Colombia, and Brazil. With that, we decided to find coffee producers that were either collective or family-owned farms, and they're shipped directly from those farms to us. Producers that were either collective or family-owned farms, and they're shipped directly from those farms to us. So we utilize the Bellwether machine, which is probably one of the coolest parts of our store. Everyone thinks this is ATM. It's truly just like the most innovative sort of roaster that exists right now. It shed a lot of light, I think, for me personally. So I'm also an educator, and my sister and I always make jokes about, I got so busy during COVID tutoring, and we started to recognize that students who could afford tutoring were primarily not students located in the city of Buffalo. And so for my students, I put out a post saying, does anyone need help? You know, you can come meet me at the school. And we recognize that a lot of these students and a lot of these parents don't have the same opportunity because they don't know what's available. And coffee is also one of those things. So we used to go to coffee shops to just sit and do and be, and we thought that's something that a lot of students, a lot of people in this area don't have. Right. And they said, put your attention to online and focus on the coffee itself. So we went back to the drawing board. I think it was like an email from like over a year. It was literally an email that was written in 2017 or something. And I looked it up to see if he was still there. And the gentleman still worked at this roastery. And I said, hey, do you think you'd be interested in like, getting us a roaster? I think we want to roast instead of have a cafe. And he said, absolutely. So fast forward to these conversations, I did what most twins do, and we just like twin powered it. And
it's always like some great bad idea.
Yeah, it's a really great bad idea.
We own a cat accidentally.
But I asked her, I said, do you trust me? And she said, absolutely. And that was all I needed for that motivation to say, we're gonna roast coffee now. So we got on board together, got in touch, a lot of planning, a lot of logistics, and we went from being a cafe owner to fully functioning roastery, the only Black-owned roastery that is utilizing fuel efficiency the way we are.
First and foremost, I think it's a blessing in disguise. Right now, my sister's in a boot, and I think that if anyone is working to be an entrepreneur by themselves, I don't know how you're doing it. It's work. It's nice to have a partner to bounce ideas off of, and even sometimes those critical conversations, those arguments have to happen. Something as small as us using the color purple in our design. I always go, Leash, let's just put a little pop of color, and we would go back and forth about it. But we got really good at disseminating the difference between our personal arguments and our professional argument. When it comes to the business, this is strictly business, and we're gonna have that conversation. And I think it helped us develop a very good communication skills as sisters.
Yeah, this roastery has been like a little bit of family therapy for us. And it's interesting, siblings and any type of relationship, you have arguments and you have to learn how to navigate those arguments. We're at a level where our livelihood depends on us navigating through an argument. Mm-hmm. So instead of utilizing our weaknesses, we decided we're going to utilize each other's strengths. So with my background in corporate accounting and my sister's background in education, we found ways to use that in logistics and operations, and how do we apply that from the financial and the business side of it. We found that opening a specialty coffee business was a higher barrier to entry for people of color. And when we decided we were going to do this, we knew we had to have all of our T's crossed and I's dotted. And that also meant forging a strong relationship with our bank. We went to them, proposed to them what we're planning on doing, proposed all of our outline strategies. And by the time we finished the conversation, we weren't just leaving the bank, we were walking out with a partner. And that's a big issue in this community, that a lot of times there's a big distrust between your primary investment, which most likely will be a bank, and the actual consumer itself. So we definitely play very hand in hand with that. The other big item is you kind of just have to go with the flow. Some things don't work.
Being able to pivot is very important. If you, no matter what your mission and vision is, no matter what you intended this business to be, I can tell you the cafe you're sitting on, it was not the intention. It was listening to your consumer, listening to your customers, realizing that although you may have a great product, that you have to be able to pivot as needed through the market. Mm-hmm. I'd love to say listen to everyone, but don't. Really, you have to sometimes trust in yourself, trust in what you intended to start with, believe in your product, because if you don't believe it, no one else will. That's part of the reason why we're called Unapologetic Coffee. We're very unapologetic about who we are as people, as African American women. We don't, when there's times I'm emailing her and I'm like, I'm so sorry. She's like, stop saying sorry. Stop being so apologetic about who you are in this world. And just kind of do it.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, we were in a cultivator where people were 8 years into their product and they're still considered new businesses. It's not going to be perfect,
Right.
But if you want to do it, stand by that and believe in your product. And I think that that's the most that we can tell anyone.
24/7 online, you can purchase directly from there. We roast on an as-need basis, which is great for us. But you can also purchase right in our store at 1375 Main Street and here in Buffalo, New York.
All right, so shout out to Unapologetic Coffee doing their thing right there on Main Street, right off of East Utica. So make sure you check them out. Again, Empower716 is all about supporting small businesses. And if you want your business showcased, hit us up at Empower716gmail.com. That's Empower716 gmail.com. So I'm really excited to have in the building another successful business owner in Western New York, right from the east side of Buffalo. I got Jonathan Macklin in the building. What's going on, man?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Good. Before we jump into the interview, and I like to get into people's business in a good way because there are some great individuals, entrepreneurs, and business owners doing some great things. And I came across your name probably about back in January. And someone says, you got to get him on your show. And so just to be a full disclosure, everybody, I always like to check out people's business because, again, I invite them to the show and everything else. And so I had an opportunity to bring my vehicle because your vehicle is very personal to you. Right. And so you can't trust everybody with your vehicle, right? And so I got a chance to get my car detailed and everything else, and I was really impressed. Now, I do take my car to the other place that a lot of people go to, and sometimes it's not done with the quality and that you expect because it's everybody goes there. And so when I went to your business, when I picked my car up, I was like, yeah, this is dope. It was the quality, so I definitely appreciate what you're doing out there. So the first question I usually ask a guest is, who are you, and tell me a little bit about yourself and how did you get to where you are. So my first question to you is, who is Jonathan Macklin?
Well, I'm ambitious. I'm just a regular person that just went through stuff on the east side of the Buffalo.
Yeah.
Watched a lot of stuff go on, and you got to think, do you want to be in jail or do you want to be out here getting money?
Yeah.
And take care of your family. So I chose to be out here and take care of my family, and that's what I'm doing right now currently. Started a car wash like 3 years ago.
Okay.
I always had a passion for clean cars. We used to sit in the back of my father's car sometimes and just look at the clean cars and we'll play bingo. Oh, that's my car. So now.
Not to interrupt you. Do they still play that? Because I remember back in the day, you sit on the porch or something like that, and you just watch the cars back. Oh, that's my car. So my other question before you get into your story, are you into cars and cars and as a hobby?
It's somewhat a hobby. I used to like foreign cars and stuff like that. I still like foreign cars to this day. Because back in the day when I was younger, I used to have BMWs and stuff like that, Lexus and stuff. But now, one of my friends, Booby, he always had old schools. And when he put up with the old schools, man, it's like your face just dropped. Like, wow. So now I finally got me. He inspired me to get one. So now I finally got one, and it's like 1975 Chevy.
Nice. So is that the one with the tires?
Yeah, the big 30s on it and stuff like that.
I like that.
Barely drive it, but that's my baby.
So go back to telling me a little bit about your upbringing. So you're born and raised in Buffalo?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Buffalo, from Proctor Avenue.
Okay.
Off of Bailey. Born and raised over there I left my mother's house back in when I was in my 20s. But I always had a working ethic. Worked at Wegmans. I was a paper boy. Shoveled driveways, cut grass. Even washed cars at Abbott Motors. That was right there on Easton and Bailey. So I was always into doing stuff, making some money and stuff like that. Yeah. But, when you work for a lot of these companies, you feel like you just getting overworked for a little bit of money. Like I was telling you earlier, I used to work for Ford, and, being told when to go on break, being told when to go use the bathroom, I couldn't deal with that. So did the car wash. And then I started making more money probably in 2 days than I make it in 1 week at Ford.
Wow.
And now
let me ask you this, because working at Ford, that's a good, people think, okay, if I'm working at Ford, that's longevity and everything else, and that's some good pay. What was the breaking point for you? Like, okay, I got to do something different. I got to move different.
Getting up every morning, waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning just to be at work at 6 o'clock, driving through the storms, coming from Amherst all the way out to Hamburg, it's just, and then tired on your body. Then you get off of work and you don't have time to kick it with your kids, your homework and stuff like that, because I'm a real family man. So sometimes I come home and just cook dinner or I just want to relax with them. But when you get off of work and you're tired, you just want to go to sleep, So basically, now my life has changed up. You know, I could go home, kick it with the kids. If I don't want to go to work that day, I could go kick it with my kids, you know, that day.
So that balance was important to you.
It's important because, you know, these kids need you, especially the sons and daughters. You know, they both need you, you know, because they look up to you.
Now, one of the other question I want to ask you is, now it's one thing to have a thought in your head that, you know what, I want to be an entrepreneur or business owner, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to get into your mindset of like, how did you get to the execution of it? Like did you have to like map out and say, okay, this is what I want to do, and I want to know like how long did it take you to get to from having that thought that I want to start my own business to actually doing it?
All right. Well, basically, watching my brother Big J.
Yeah.
He's he owns 4 barbershops in the city of Buffalo.
Okay.
Chopper Fellas, one on Bailey and Dartmouth, and one on Elmwood and Hodge, and one on Bailey and Kensington, and he owns the shop Sinclair downtown.
Okay.
So, you know, growing up into him and watching my brother Corey, watching them move, you have no choice but to smarten up and be a man and, you know, run a business. So that's what I chose to do. And I'm just happy that I'm here now, you know.
Yeah.
You know, watching them do things, and they kind of proud of me making my own little moves and stuff like that, and I'm sticking to it. And I always thought, like, okay, you got a car wash, right? What's the next step?
Yeah.
'Cause I was going to open up a restaurant. I was talking to my friends and stuff like that, and he's like, yo, the ventilation system and stuff can cost a lot of money, this and the third. So I was like, okay, what could complement a car wash? So like a barbershop, you know, because most guys, you know, they go to the club on the weekends, they go get their haircuts, and they get, you know, the car wash.
Yep.
So why not have a one-stop spot? So that's how I came along. And I had a couple girls in there that worked. Cara from Cara Touches. She was doing massages and dreads and stuff like that. Then I have Angel, Get Twisted by Angel.
Okay.
Angel M. Lee on Facebook. Then I have Tanisha and a couple other girls. Percy, Slice the Barber. My son actually, he taught my son how to cut hair too.
Nice.
And my son actually cut my hair, you know, and he got a career now, so he don't have to go out here and work and
for
be told to
somebody else,
do whatever, you know.
And one of the questions that, you know, when you started your plan of doing the car wash and then doing the barbershop, one thing I hear from other people when they start something, you hear a lot of the noise. And did you ever hear that there's already enough barbershops? Everybody got a barbershop. Everybody got a car wash. Did you hear that during your process, and how did you handle it?
Yeah, I did. I was told I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But me, the type of guy I am, you know, I used to be a hustler, long story.
Yeah.
You can never tell me I can't do nothing. So I tried it and I did it and it worked. You know, I went and got 10 chairs put in the barbershop. I filled 8 of them, you know, and you look down the streets and stuff like that, the other barbershops, not comparing myself to other barbershops because they was there first, you know.
Yeah.
I had a little success, you know. But, you know, when you be in success and stuff like that, when you invest your money wrong, differently and stuff like that, you start going out buying stupid things instead of reinvesting your money, what got you to that point. And I always talk to my guy, Ian Baker. He owns a concrete company. It's called Blue Line Concrete.
Okay.
He always give me a lot of knowledge and stuff like that, you know. Like, Jay, man, you went and bought an old school. You went and bought a boat, bro. Like, dude, it's time to invest back in your business, you know?
Yeah. I think that's so important. Some of the things that you mentioned, that you had a group of people around you who had started their own barbershops, things of that nature. And I think that's important, that in order to see something like that, there's a lot of people who may not see or have people around them that are starting businesses or have that hustle mentality. Like, you know what, I got to find right avenues to get to the things I want to get. And I think that's important. Do you see that as like a key component of your success right now?
Yeah, I had a vision. And one thing about when you have a vision, you see things through your own eyes.
Yeah.
Nobody else can see what you see. So I got some other plans I want to do. I'm not going to speak on them right now until it happens. But if I see something, I'm going to go for it. And then it's up to me to fail, you know? So
talk about your family, because you mentioned, you know, your son, and you got one of your sons here. Your son, I think you said your son is a barber as well, one of your chairs. How important is that as a father, as a husband? Are you married?
I was married. I just got divorced. Long story behind that.
Yeah.
But I'm living
It's
life.
all good. There you go. So being a father, just being an African American man in itself, tell me how important it is for your children to see you as a business owner, and then also sharing that entrepreneurial spirit with them.
I think it's very important because your kids, they sit back and watch you.
Yeah.
You know, you could be up here and be a gangster, a shooter.
Yeah.
Your kids see you doing that, that's what they're going to want to do. You know, you could be a drug dealer. Your kids see you doing that, they see you rocking chains and all that, that's what their kids going to want to do because you're showing your kids this, right? But you can show your kids how to be an entrepreneur and tell them how to stay out the streets and go forward, you know, instead of going backwards. And I got my little 13-year-old with me. You know, I was going to leave him at home. I was like, nah.
He needs to see you. Yeah,
he needs to see it. He needs to be here, you know. And my son, Jaquan, he's probably in the shop right now cutting hair. Could be watching me on live, whatever. They see me change my whole life up, you know, from negative to positive. And sticking with the positive, you know. Yeah. And then, like I said, my 13-year-old, he has his own T-shirt company. We put your logo and stuff on your T-shirts and stuff like that. And my other son, he's cutting hair right now at my barbershop. Nice. And I got a niece. I want to mention this. Her name is Melanie Miner. Y'all can look her up on Facebook or Instagram. She's opened her own boutique, right? It's called KMB5.
Okay.
And it's for female clothes and stuff like that. Real nice stuff. You check her out on Instagram and Facebook. And what I really want to say is, like, man, you change from doing some things to doing good things. It makes you feel good, you know?
Yeah. Because
you ain't got to watch over your back and everything. And a lot of people watch you, but, oh, man, he's doing this, he's doing that. But, yeah, he's doing it the right way.
The right way, I think the greatest thing in life is when you treat people right. And I think the part that I love about life is that when you can go home and sleep in peace, like you just said, like you don't have to worry about you're doing somebody dirty, and then you got to watch your back, looking over your shoulder all the time, and that's how you operate in life. And so I think that's the most productive way to live. I want to talk about your business being on the east side of Buffalo, right off of East Delavan, right? Why is that important to stay where you grew up at? Obviously, I know you grew up on Proctor, but why is it important to keep your business on the east side of Buffalo?
Well, I always wanted to expand and open up another business somewhere.
Yeah.
But that's just where I'm from, you know, and you feel like you're at home, you know, and, you know, the neighbors and stuff like that. I watch my relationship with the neighbors grow and get better. And, you know, we look out for them in the wintertime and, you know, doing their driveways and, you know, sweeping up and everything, you know. It's just where I'm from. And you can't, I don't think I want to go anywhere else, but I do see later on the road, like having a car wash and a barbershop in Atlanta, something like that, you know, nice. Charlotte, making it, you know, like franchising it, taking it to Niagara Falls, Rochester, you know, expanding.
Nice. So one of the other questions I want to ask you is the industry of car washing and detailing, now that you have like different mobile detailing, people coming directly to you, how do you as a business owner kind of stay on top of like the trends and everything else, like what's going on?
Because in the wintertime, you're still going to need your car clean. Yeah. You can't get to the house in the wintertime. So you can come to the shop and get nice and heat. Waiting room, you can sit there and get your car vehicle done, and you're going to enjoy it. You know, it's like a different vibe when you come to the shop. You know, we always cracking jokes, man. We got a sense of humor and stuff like that.
Gotta have sense of humor.
Like, the other day, a customer came up, she was really mad, you know, and I just, usually, you know, the old me would say, you know, said some stuff to her.
Yeah.
But the new me, being a business owner, you can't just go to these customers and talk the way you want to talk to them.
Yeah.
You got to sit back and know that she is the customer. She could go on Facebook and say this, that, and the third, and it won't be that much big of a deal, but you don't want, you know, people doing that stuff. So I end up taking care of her the right way and settled it the right way, and she was happy, and we were both happy, you know? So it's a lot of pressure being a business owner, too, man. Trust me, it's a lot of pressure, man. People will try you, and you have to
keep your cool, because you got
cool, man.
So one of the questions I actually like, what was like one of the jumping into this, because you only been in the business for 3 years. What was like one of maybe your most challenging moments as a business owner that you kind of like had to step back and say, okay, this is how I need to adjust moving forward? Like, was it something that like you wasn't expecting, but like, okay, this was a good learning lesson for business wise?
Like when the corona disease came out,
Mm-hmm.
and we had to shut down, but bills still had to get paid, rent still had to get paid,
Absolutely.
and food still got put on the table at my house.
Yeah.
So I made it happen, but long story short on that, just make sure you always put money up. You might have made $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 that week.
Yeah.
But just don't go spend $2,000, $3,000 on clothes and all this other stuff messing it up.
Yeah.
Put that money up, put it up, because you might have some tough times in life and you might need to depend on that.
Yeah.
So I always thought like that. I had everything, but I used to come outside dressed up and all that all the time. So I really don't care for clothes like that.
I think, do you think that happens with age? Like, as I was in a stage when I was, when you first get a little money, right? You want to just flex and everything else. You want to, get all the nice jewelry, everything else. And then when you get older, those other things like going on vacations and everything else just happens. Like, those are actually more, important, and doing stuff with the family.
So I tried to, I was going to wear a hoodie and a shirt. I was like, I'm this regular person. I'm me and my son, we went to Macy's yesterday. I was like, I'm going to spend $500 on this and this and the third. I said, well, I'm going to spend all this money just to get on an interview one time, and I'm not going to wear it again.
Oh, so you dress, so that, see, I respect that, man, because dressing up and everything else.
It's a waste of money, man.
But me, like I said, I got some slides and everything else. I like people to feel whatever comfortable, and I think I've learned that part of my journey as well. It's like, I've been I worked for somebody for 15 years, an organization, and I had to wear the suit sometimes, and I couldn't wear. And one of my biggest goals that I said, if I ever work for myself, I want to dress how I want to. So if I want to dress up in the suit one day, I got the suit. But if I want to dress up and get some sneakers on, a hoodie on, I want to go to work like that. That was my goal.
Right. And know what's best about this, man? Nobody can tell me when to go to the bathroom. Nobody tell me to go to smoke. Nobody tell me, yo, you were late for work.
Yep.
No one can tell me I'm fired, know?
And and the reason, like I said, when I went to your shop, and I want to ask you this question because a lot of businesses that I see on the east side of Buffalo get this. The perception just by being on the east side that I don't know if I want to do business or come and do business with you because of where you're located. Now, do you get that a lot, and how do you handle that?
I really don't.
Yeah.
Because I get all types of people that come through. And when you make them, the thing about that, you make them feel comfortable. You make them feel at home.
Yeah.
You make them feel like they ain't got to tuck their purse. You come in, you crack a joke with them, make them laugh and stuff like that. And I think that's the best thing, And then on top of that, you do a great job on a vehicle.
Yeah.
And, they send other people to you. So.
Now, I love your marketing strategy. So, doing the videos and making sure. Now, do you do that by yourself? And I want to know, like, is that essential for your business, the word of mouth, to go as far as making sure that you do the social media regards to Facebook and Instagram and all that other stuff?
Yeah, I try to keep up on it. Some days I don't post the videos because I'll be too busy. But, my spirits was down for a couple of months ago. So now I'm back up. So now I'm like, you know what? Keep it moving, keep it going, and keep posting the videos. Keep your foot on these people's neck.
Yeah.
And
you never know who's watching, like who's watching out there. And so a lot of people get discouraged because, they're putting stuff out there and they may not feel like it's getting the eyes or views that they need it to be. I want to talk about, let's go switch to the barbershop business portion of it. Is there any strategy that you have? So like, I don't know the industry in itself, but has it been challenging in getting all your seats filled in the shop and keeping the right people? Because I hear a lot of people who are barber owners have some challenges of finding the right people to fit their business.
Yeah, you're gonna always have drama in the barbershop because it's like a what do you want to call it? It's like a soap opera.
It is.
Everything in the barbershop, gossip, this and the third, But sometimes, in that barbershop, those people grow as a family. And a family, they might have these little arguments and fight.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they come back together as a family, and get over the petty, small stuff that they be going through. But, shout out to Slice, man. Slice the barber. And Angel Emily, she does dreads, man. She's real good with that,
good,
man. Yeah. Tanisha and Kyra Touches. Marshall Bell, she used to work there. She's very good at what she do, too. I'm trying to remember the other girl's name. Marshall, did you hear? Okay, Velma second page. That's her. That's her Facebook name.
Okay.
Jay Macklin, that's my son. You know, he's a good barber now too. Cece Bishop, she does very good hair. It's like Reggie. A lot of people that came to that shop, man. Lawrence, you know, they showed me a lot of things, what you should do, lighting and this and the third, getting the vending machines and stuff like that. You know, but me running the business all by myself, the car wash and the barber shop, it's a lot. You know, some days I used to stay at the shop so I could clean the car wash, then run back up there and clean the barber shop, you know, make sure everything, and then, you know, burning myself out. But it got to the point where, you know, when you bring the right people in, sometimes, you know, you don't have to tell them to clean up. They'll clean up themselves, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what I like about, you know, my barber shop. If you ever sat back and watched the movie Barbershop, I kind of feel like I'm Calvin, you know?
That was a good movie.
Seriously, man. Like, one day I was like, man, I'm fed up with this barbershop. I'm going to turn it into a rib spot, long story. But I had watched the movie Barbershop. And that made me realize, like, wait a minute, man. That's her personality. This is who he is. That's who he is, you know? And at the end of the day, it all works out.
Yeah. See, unfortunately, losing hair at an early age, I don't go to the barbershop as much. But there's obviously the stories you hear, whether the humor, the you know, arguing about sports and everything else. I mean, there's so much that goes on in the barbershop. And I do think you learn a lot, and you learn about having a lot of debates.
Yeah.
Which is good for the soul. And I think just those conversations that happen, I think that's important. And I think having that right atmosphere is important. What advice would you give to other entrepreneurs, whether they're trying to start their own business or whether they're currently doing their own business?
Keep going hard, man. Don't ever give up, you know? Don't be afraid to ask people for advice. You see other successful people and stuff like that, or just sit back and watch them. Yeah. Once you sit back and watch them, you could do stuff yourself, you know. Just don't be afraid to be yourself, and don't be afraid to fail. You know, if you fall down, you can only get up.
I love that.
You know, I fell down plenty of times, but I keep getting up.
And I think that's what a lot of people need to, I think what I hope people gain from looking at entrepreneurs and business owners, that it's not all like, yeah, you can make your own schedule, you can create your own pay and all that good stuff, but you got to go through some stuff. You got to lose some money. You got to, like you said, going through the pandemic of what's next, like what's going to happen when I can't open up my shop because of, you know, the restrictions. I can't do car washes because of my restrictions, and how do I build back up and bounce back off from that situation. And so I think you do have to have consistency. You do have to have the will that no matter what, or the persistence to say no matter what is in front of me, I got to keep pushing. Right. So I want to ask this because as a business owner, I realize that different people reach different people, right? And because you were born and raised in Buffalo, and now you're a business owner, that there are people who are right there, which I love that your business is right there, that people can see, even the barbers that you have within, you know, on your business, and then the people that you've hired for your car wash are seeing an African American man do his thing, and then they can watch, and like you're pretty much doing what was done to you. You watch other people start their business, and I think that's how we really grow our community. How does that feel, like being at a place where you had this thought of, I wanted to do my own business, and then 3 years later to be where you are right now?
It feels pretty good, bro. Real good, man. Just know when I'm going to work, I know I'm definitely coming home with some money, you know, and definitely be able to take care of my kids and take care of business like I'm supposed to, as I see my father do it, you know. Back in the day, my father used to take us to Wegmans, Jubilee, Tops, and used to go to Wilson Farm just to grab the bread and the eggs. You know, I seen him watch him spend cash, take care of the family as a man, be in the backyard, detailing his car, you know, with the music up loud, you know. That's one thing about my father, man. You know, he kept his car clean. You get in the car, you touch his windows, oh, man, he's going to be mad.
Don't touch the windows. Don't smear the windows. And I think that's important because I think sometimes we get the narrative that there are no good fathers out there taking care of and providing for their children and their family and so forth. And so to hear and see the narrative being displayed and showcased and highlight, which is important, because oftentimes the reason why, I started this platform and making sure I was strategic of who I selected to be guests was not to just get the people who are always highlighted and popular. Right. I wanted to get those from all different spectrums to making sure we showcase, because I think it's important to do that. And just to hear the fact that, you had a father and you watched him do things and provide, and then it's just, like I said, transferring down to now your children. So, that's how we change it. I want to talk about your giving as well, because not only, you're just not trying to provide for your family, and obviously you hire people, you employ people, but, how do you help give back to the community?
Well, I know, always come out my own pocket.
Yeah.
With straight cash money, barbecue in front of the shop, in front of the car wash, and pass out food,
Yeah.
This summer, I'm going to grab a whole bunch of case of ribs. I had an idea of open up a rib restaurant, because my ribs are 100% delicious, right? So I was going to get like 20 cases of ribs, cook them up on my brother's grill, have them come in front of the shop, cook them up, and just pass it out,
All for free?
All for free.
Wow.
Pass out product. You like it, we open it. But I always had a thought about, just not staying in one lane. I watched my brother do it. He came from one barbershop and then opened up another one and then open up another one. And that's the way you got to do it, I seen him do a lot of things, man. You see Big J, man, I'm happy to say that's my brother. And you see him, the way he do things, man, you walk into his shop downtown, Sinclair's, I think it's 800 Main Street. I don't know if I'm correct on the address. Okay. But you walk in there, and it's totally different. And we're from the east side of Buffalo, and you walk downtown, you're like, wow, man, it's like the ceilings is 30 feet, ceiling fans and saunas, all types of stuff. The good music coming outside the shop. You got a little speaker, so when like you walking down Main Street, you hear good music.
That's dope.
And then when you come into his business, it's just immaculate, man. So if I could do anything half the way that man is doing things, because he's successful. So if I could be as half successful as him, or it's a good thing, And then I got my other sister, she has another shop on Maple. It's called Farrah J's. We just business-oriented people, man.
I love it, man. I love it. That's a good thing, man, to have family around you and that's doing your thing. And I think it helps motivate you as well. It's just like, man. And I think sometimes, again, we get oversaturated with the whole toxicity thing of, negativity in Buffalo, that everybody's just like, toxic around us. But I think you surround yourself with the right people.
And, Buffalo does have a lot of negative energy, right? Yeah. But that's what I do with negative energy. I take negative energy and I turn it to positive.
Got to.
Like he spit at you, but it didn't get on me. He swung at you, but he hit me. He hollered, stuff like that, And you gotta keep it going because you're a business owner, so you can't be out here being a thug. You gotta keep it. You gotta be business minded, man.
Love it. So where can people find you if they want to, get their car wash, auto detailed, want to get a fresh cut? Where can they find you?
Well, the barbershop is at 1294 East Delavan, Buffalo, New York, 14215. And the car wash is on the Delavan side. East Delavan, Roslyn side, 317, Roslyn. You'll see my big old school out there. You can't miss it, man.
That's like I said. So you do the block parties, right? Because I think I've seen you do the block party. Is it called
every July 4th on
Yeah.
Proctor, man. We do it real big for the neighborhood. We'll go get a whole bunch of fireworks, cook food, everything's for free. Sometimes we'll ask neighbors to chip in like $10, a couple little dollars, whatever, because my brother, me, we always throw $1,000 a piece.
Yeah.
It's $1,000 of hard earned money that we're throwing up in the air. It's just for the neighborhood. We've been doing this for the longest. My father and his friends from Proctor, they used to do it back in the day. So
you got a big turnout. I think someone must have been shared some pictures on Facebook, and this is probably last year. And the reason how I connected the car, because I seen the car in some of the pictures, and I was like, man, that's a lot of people showing up for the party out there. So how long you guys been doing that?
Oh, over 40 years.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. My mother still got the same house, same number, everything. Just like Notorious Big says, same number, same hood, it's all good.
Yeah, it's all good. So, any last words you want to share with the audience before we take off?
Just be great, man. Don't let nobody get you down. Keep moving forward. You know, you got a lot of people out here hating on you and stuff like that. You just can't let that get to you. You gotta keep it moving.
Yeah.
You know? And shout out to my guy, Ian Baker from Blue Line Concrete. Dominique Calhoun for getting my logos and stuff up and running and popping. You can check her out on Facebook. And A+ Construction, which is one of my other brothers from Proctor. He has his own construction team, man.
Okay.
And my little brother, Money Charles Macklin and Garen Baker, they have their own construction company, landscaping and plowing company. So,
yeah, I love the fact that you throwing out a lot of people's businesses, and that shows your character, man. That shows, because you didn't get here by yourself, and I think that's how successful people get to places where they are, because some people just like, you know, I'm just trying to get this on my own. And the fact that you come on here and you're shouting out different people, because one is helping each other, supporting other businesses, and so, you know, there's all room for all of us to grow.
Right. It's a big city, man. You see other people come in the city and do what they do and buy the buildings and take over stuff. It's time for us to get up and buy these buildings and take back these blocks, because we support them, but they don't support us. You feel me? And the dollar goes in their pocket and not back into our pockets. You feel me? So we got to recycle money amongst each other. And shout out to James Stanley, too.
Okay.
He got the little stereo spot on Genesee and Hagen. He says customers my way, I send customer his way.
Nice.
And Sean Tents on Delavan, too. There's a lot of stuff going over in Delavan, you know?
Yeah, shout out to Sean Tents, because he hooked me
nice.
up too. He hooked me up really good, so he's doing this thing over there as well. Yeah. So we're gonna wrap this episode up. So this is episode 21. So, which is really dope. I'm really thankful. Let me just backtrack and just want to thank you, Jonathan, for coming on the show, giving up your time, and sharing a little bit about your business and where you are. Make sure you check out his car wash and barbershop as well. And I appreciate what you're doing for the community as well. And just, again, I don't need to tell you this, but, man, keep doing what you're doing. I mean, just like I said, to hear your story, it's motivating. And I hope everybody who is listening gets some value of what he shared, and not just talk about it, be about it. And I think that's really the key, and supporting other people around us. So this is episode number 21. We're going to wrap it up. Make sure you join us on Wednesday, April 13th at 6 p.m. We're going to join a conversation about how to get over self-doubt and take action. And so even as entrepreneurs, or even in your own personal life, how to get over the self-doubt and take some incredible action. So I got my man David Pinkston, who's a self-esteem coach. So he's going to come on DMP Speaks and drop some knowledge on us to help us get through that self-doubt that many of us go through in our lives. And then on the 18th, we have my man Bruce Warrick from the Trust God Ministry. He's going to be here on April 18th, next Monday. Don't want to miss that episode. Get to hear his journey of how he got to where he is, and all the great things that he's doing in the Trust God Ministry. So until then, make sure if you are watching this on the replay or you're listening through the auto podcast, make sure you like, share, download. Make sure that we can get the value of information that we share about entrepreneurs and business owners to other people to help us all grow. So until then, I'll see you all Wednesday.
Hey, what's up, Western New York? Did you know that Empower716 Talkshow is looking to promote and recognize young entrepreneurs in Western New York? You could recommend yourself or someone else to be acknowledged on a future episode. Nominees need to be age 21 or under, has a service or product that offers value, has taken steps to become an entrepreneur, and must be willing to come on the show and talk about their service or product if selected. Email us at empower716@gmail.com.